This will be an interesting experience. I've never really been interviewed before. It's almost kind of like, performing in a way.
Gwir, home to the people of Gwir. From the deep dark within the shadow plain, the people are proud and hardy fetchlings, eking out a life deep within the mantle of Vino, or upon its surface in the cold expanse of snow and stone. Gwirian life is tough, challenging, but ultimately thriving. Through the expansion of land by the Gwirian army under the leadership of the dear Queen Southsea Sable, Gwir has flourished into a dominant force within the northern isles of the Faroe Enclave. Its beauty and splendor ripe for the pickings. All the while the people tend their lands in the name of the fair queen. This is the story we have come to understand. However, like a golden house coin, there is always two sides.
I traveled a lot because originally I was looking for a different sort of environment, a different desert. I've heard there was a cold desert way north.
Sundu. She has lived for thousands of years in one form or another.
Right now, I am helping the fire brigade with their mission here in Weir. Someone promised to help me get home. They're quite fascinating. They're very interesting people. They have very strong morals, and I feel a sense of attachment to some of them. I think they have good hearts. From what I've gathered, they want what's best for this land.
A group known as the Fire Brigade. An interesting choice of name, but fitting, as we shall come to see. The Gwirian royal family have denounced them as part of an Eastern rebellion. Accurate, if somewhat misleading. Perhaps it's time to learn the truth about these champions of the East.
My entire family, all of them, apart from my sister, gone in an instant.
My name is Naxi. I'm the twin sister of Madrona. I used to be a barber.
We owned a little shop.
The Gwirian government. They don't take no for an answer. The fire, it's a horrible memory for me. It was a tragedy.
It's become personal. I wish I could say it was just me fighting for my friends and fighting for the future, but it's revenge. It's revenge.
We were part of a family that owned a 2-story building. First floor was our barber shop, and we lived in the second story.
The Gwir aristocrats, nobles, whatever you want to call them, they wanted our land.
People came in and out, gave them what they wanted. Not very exciting, I would say. But at the time, I was married, and I had 2 kids that lived with our parents, along with Madrona.
We lived in that little shop, and they wanted our land, but we wouldn't sell it to them.
A couple of richer folk came into town one day and decided that they wanted to buy our barbershop. No, because this is their livelihood, and eventually, as we told these people we needed to back off, they decided that the final straw, as we kicked them out of the barbershop for causing issues, they decided that that night they would set fire to the building.
Eventually, the whole place went up in flames. No one survived it. My sister and I only survived it because we weren't there.
It just went up in blaze. Everything burned. I remember the ash in the air. I remember immediately booking it.
Of course, we were trying to figure out
My kids were in it.
who set the fire.
My husband was in there.
We were on a mission gathering intel,
I heard my parents screaming.
and we found proof
The doors were locked.
that the Gwirian government
I screamed for help.
had hired people to
I couldn't get them out in time.
destroy it
They died that night.
so they could buy up the land.
They were everything.
We found our deed.
I lost everything.
We found the contract with their hired hands
My children are dead.
because they thought they could just do whatever they want. Whatever they wanted was theirs.
I lost everything.
My entire family is
It happened so fast.
dead.
My name is Portia. I am from the land of Dew-shrouded still waters. The Gwirian royal family decided that things there should end. My entire people are gone. As far as I'm aware, it's just me, and I will avenge them. I almost lost my life, and an opportune meeting with new friends who shared my enemies. They found me. If they had not come when they did, I would have perished. I want them dead. I don't know what drives them, I just know what they've instructed their subordinates to commit, and that's enough. My long-term plans are simple. Kill the royalty. The system under which the fetchlings find themselves. I feel revulsion for people that could order what they have ordered to be done. The aid of others would be a benefit. Goal-wise, I'm focused on preventing any more wrongs. The rest of the party is aligned with my goals. There's one way things like this end. Concentrated violence. I can think of no more suitable word for what they've done than genocide.
When I first landed here, I got captured, and I was supposed to dance for the queen. I assumed forever, and that was not exactly great. As much as I love to perform and dance, I don't want to be forced to do something that I love to do when it's not of my own free will or my choice. They saw me. I am the talking, dancing cactus. I think they decided that I should clearly belong to the queen. I was captured and forced to dance while they took me all across their homeland towards the queen. They put me in bindings whenever I was not dancing and stuff. So the cage was tiny, which I am pretty tiny already, but it was tiny even for me. It was very isolating, and I felt like I was a little caged creature, and I was only there for their entertainment, and only when they wanted me. It was definitely not a quick trip. It was in there for hours, days, until they would let me out to just do nothing but dance. Like I was just a commodity. I was only worth being a fun, special little dancing creature that was not a real person with thoughts and feelings of my own. I managed to escape. It was a little bit of a lucky escape, but I also feel like I was able to hold my own because I did manage to escape from my captors. That's when I ran into the dragon. It would have killed me, but I was saved by a different group of Gwirians who were not in alliance with the queen. I'm entirely sure the dragon was from the royal Gwirians. I believe it was a dragon that happened to belong to the queen. It was quite terrifying. this dragon was set upon poor little tiny creatures like me. It was sent after me because I escaped and they wouldn't let me escape. I was pretty terrified my spirit would live on. Not that the evil Gwirian leadership would know this about me, but I would have not been able to live this life to the fullest. There's still so much I could have done with this life that I wouldn't have been able to experience.
Three terrible and true tales. A family torn apart. A nation ended. A tiny being set upon by a ferocious dragon. All acts of Gwir, each as tragic as the last. These are not atypical of those who encounter the forces of Gwir. But what is to be done? A small band of so-called rebels may hold the answer.
The thought that if I were ever in a position of being invaded and oppressed and slaughtered, I would hope that people fought back.
My family has been hurt by the Gwirian royal family, this family that I'm a part of now, and I'm gonna help them to put an end to it. I always will.
This fight is kind of personal for me. The royal family killed someone I used to know, someone I wasn't even sure I liked very much until they were dead, but someone I know for certain didn't deserve death. And then I met someone who I did kind of admired and envied, someone who was being hunted by Gwirian forces, someone who wanted to fight, not just for herself, but for everyone around her. But unfortunately for us, she's not here now. I don't know where she is, but I am here carrying the torch in her honor, and I will not stop till I'm dead or till we've won.
They are more willing to sacrifice and kill their own people just for the thought of extra land. They would rather gather up as much land and power as they possibly can than care for what they already have.
My friends are fletchlings. This is their home, their people, and I feel like from hearing how they are in the situations that they are, I feel like I can help with what they believe we should do, and I believe it too.
We have several plans that we're working on right now, none that we can discuss unless you join us, of course, as we do not want to alert the Gwirian forces of our plans. But do know that we will not stop until they are all dead.
Any leader has a responsibility to its people, to protect them, to ensure their safety, and their overall well-being, and that includes working with people around them, not just slaughtering them.
My friends were deeply hurt. I've had to see the end result of them hunting down and hurting people I care about, and that's not okay with me.
They do not care for their people. Gwir's people are just assets to the royal family.
I can help provide a catalyst so that realization comes quicker.
There is no redeeming the royal family. There is no conversing with them. There's no conversation to be had. They will not listen to you.
The Gwirian royal family has manipulated their people.
The royal family will not stop.
Seeing what has been taken by the Gwirian royal family only makes me want to fight harder.
The only thing that will stop their tyranny is death.
My friends have died, my brother has died.
I am a small part of, hopefully, a much larger and successful way to possibly thwart that.
I don't have a choice in this fight. It is do or it is die. My kids are dead. I need to avenge them because they died because of someone else's greed.
We have worked so hard to protect these people.
Why would I let any leadership that has no problem committing acts of genocide stay in power?
I'm not one for mincing words or flowery language. There are people who have wronged me, wronged my entire kind.
We don't want to bend the knee.
Gwir is slowly encroaching towards my people.
Unwilling to move for the voices of the people.
I've met and talked to so many who just live in absolute fear of the Gwirian government.
It's revenge.
I intend to ensure that they are never capable of doing so again.
You might not want to join because you might not feel like it's your responsibility. You might not feel like it's your fight.
We should fight for a world where it's possible that you don't have to bury people so young.
I encourage you to join us. I'm sure freedom is a principle many of us adhere to. Help me free my home. Help me liberate the people who are crushed under the might of the Gwerian family's oppressive fist.
Fight for what you believe in, especially freedom for all creatures, not just your own kind, because every creature matters and has a life of their own.
Weir is going to make it your fight, whether you like it or not. So be ready. If you don't want to fight, if you don't want to be active, be defensive.
If everyone can help us, we can beat them.
Eliminating a large imperial force that wishes to impose its views on any who reside in what it deems its lands would help them live the way as they choose.
I'm asking you to help them.
They're only in power because we've let them so far. If we fight back, what can they do? We are more than them, and they know that, but they're banking on the fact that we're too scared to fight back.
Thank you for your time.
These brave souls hold the key to a free Gwir. A new Gwir. By the people, for the people, of the people. This is more than a documentary. This is a call to wands, to staffs, and to orbs. All wizards in all corners of Vino, our mothers' mothers and fathers' fathers, saw this kind of oppression from the sisterhood towards Inundun for decades. We freed them in the face of that tyranny. We can do so again. Travel to Gwir. Sling your spells and stand in arms with these rebels. Some may tell you this is not our fight, and they may be right. But I say if they are right, I choose to be wrong.
You're watching the Wizards News Network, your premier resource for all things factual. With all the up-to-date wizardly news and events from around Vino, beamed directly into your TC devices, all day, every day. Up next on WNN, Flandersnatch Productions brings us the final chapter in the continued underground escapades against the nefarious Amsi Mind in the Season 2 finale of The Pigeon Fuckers. Later, we follow along with Mudark and his motley crew of miscreants as they attempt a ritual to bring back a very ancient, very evil underworld god in The Mudark Show.